Heard at Health is sponsored video content brought to you by MedCity News.
Hi, I'm here with Jason from Particle Health. Hi, Jason. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so to start, Particle Health is focused on transforming medical data into actionable insights. Can you tell me a bit more about what actionability means in practice and what are some of the key challenges?
Yeah, so I've spent my entire career thinking about how to translate data into, actionability. And one of the things that I've come to understand about any type of data, be it healthcare data or otherwise, is that data in and of itself isn't useful, right? You can't cure diseases with it, you can't eat it. It's only useful insofar as it drives an action, a decision that someone's making. And so I always try to keep that in mind when thinking about how we go through this process of transforming data to insights to actions. And to me, that's really the key to ensuring that we can leverage data. And we talk a lot about data and AI and analytics and all of these things. And it really starts with that acknowledgement that that transformation, that work needs to be put into turning data into something that's actually actionable.
Yeah, very interesting. So going off of that, what's Particle Health's approach to this?
Yeah, so for us at Particle, right, we start with the foundation of believing that data should be democratized, right? Especially healthcare data, medical records, they should be made accessible to first and foremost the patient, but then certainly the patient's providers, their doctors, and really anyone that's trying to think about how to take care of that patient and ensure that they get the right treatments, the right therapies, everything they need to do in order to keep themselves as healthy as possible. And one of the things that we've been spending a lot of time focusing on recently is that actionability, to your point, and the recency of the insights that we can provide, right? Often people will get, a pull of data, they will request medical records, and it's this very burdensome, cumbersome process of saying, okay, I'm gonna, ask for it, I'm gonna send a bunch of faxes out, I'm gonna wait for faxes to come back in, I'm gonna process those, there are gonna be these, dirty PDFs that I have to read through, but I'm saying, okay, great, now I have a understanding of this patient's medical sort of status. For us, right, we really think about, well, what happens next week, right? What happens the week after? What happens when, a patient, an individual who's kind of just going along, right, sort of in their life and sort of not thinking about their health and their healthcare because they're currently, healthy and not having any issues, suddenly walks into an emergency room. And it turns out that they actually might have cancer, right, or have some other type of issue or disease that needs to be addressed. Those moments, and we think of them as those moments that matter, are the moments that we're really trying to ensure we have the insights to drive that actionability. Because again, it's only important to have access to this data if you're going to do something with it. And when, right, a patient wants something done is when they're currently having a moment that matters and need that opportunity for someone to say, hey, you're sick, here's what you need in order to feel better. And so that recency and understanding in that moment is a lot of what we're spending our time focusing on and doing that translation.
Yeah, really interesting. So last question for you, looking ahead in the next few years, what are some things that you really hope to achieve?
Yeah, so on our end, and I think for the industry writ large, right, a lot of this comes into how are you thinking about leveraging AI effectively, right? So obviously we as well as many other companies out there are certainly on the forefront of leveraging AI. And to me, what's really beneficial is when you layer in having this democratization of data, when you layer in that actionability, the next point is, okay, what questions do we need to answer? And that's something that AI allows us to do really well. So again, it's one thing to say, all right, I have the most up-to-date medical records on this patient. I can see a discharge summary, et cetera. It's another to say, well, what is the next best action that should be taken with this patient? This patient just got put on a new therapy, a new set of drugs. Does that conflict with anything that they already have? Are there other things that we should be thinking about in terms of closing care gaps or ensuring that referrals are getting managed appropriately? Those are all the types of questions, right, that fundamentally, if you start with that data layer and data infrastructure, you can layer on that AI and analytics engine to say, all right, well now, what do we need to do next? And that again is part of that transition from data to insights to action. And so for us, it's just continuing to ensure that we're at the forefront of leveraging AI to ensure that we have, the best opportunities to, again, get the right treatment to that patient when they need it. And that's a lot of our focus.